Heads back across the border, and the fans are more excited than ever. Canadian funny car driver Rob Atkinson's on a roll and looking for his third straight Ironman trophy.
I'm going for 3. 5. Woo!
Carl Baker is just as hot in the Sunoco Pro Stock division after winning the last 2 events as well. But Sports Park is packed and ready for another exciting round of IHRA action.
IHRA rocks! Woo!
Welcome to Edmonton, Alberta, as once again we cross the border with the Hooters IHRA Drag Racing Series. It's the Rocky Mountain Nationals presented by GM Goodwrench, and today we'll feature Sunoco Race Fuels Pro Stock and Funny Car. I'm Ken Stout, Jim Marchson standing alongside, and one of the key ingredients that the Sunoco Race Fuel Pro Stock crew chiefs will use will be elevation, and we start off here at this track at 2,200 feet above sea level.
Yes, right, Ken. This is called a tag system. And what it's going to do for the Sunoco Pro Stock crew chiefs is tell them the temperature, the barometric pressure, the humidity to help them set up the cars. So it's not just the driver here, it's the crew chief. We'll see what happens to get that Pro Stock Ironman.
Let's go to the third member of our team, Kathy Fisher.
Coming into Edmonton, we know the Rob Atkinson's team, they are hot coming off of 2 wins, but we can't rule out the 5-time champion, Mark Thomas, being tuned by another huge name, Jimmy Rector. They're the only other team that's in the 5s this weekend. So what's it going to take for Mark Thomas to win? Well, from what we've seen throughout the season, he just needs to get off the line a little bit quicker.
Big crowd on hand here today, and these guys are just geared up, ready to go. We couldn't have a better day.
They are rolling in here. The lines are out the street. They love IHRA in Edmonton. George Joe.
Did you ever play any of that on any of your stations there?
George Joe does rock, though, even though he doesn't rock.
Yeah, he's definitely a bad boy on the countryside, no question about it. Here comes Tony Boglo, who had such a great outing at Texas earlier this year.
One down in San Antonio, has enough funds now to do the whole season. We got to consider him a championship contender.
He'll line up alongside Ronnie Midget, and Ronnie was low in round 1 with a 602. Car owner Kevin Sims, part of the K&W sponsorship on the side of that vehicle.
Kevin and Wendy Sims, that's where the K&W comes from. Let's see what happens.
Reaction times within 1/1000th of a second of each other. What a great drag race going on here. Wow. Identical ET 607 with an 8, 607 with a 2. And the win goes to car number 8.
Ronnie Midget, he's getting better and better. He hasn't won a race since 1989 in St. Louis. I know because I was there. But this team is coming together, and he's moving on to the next round.
Margin of victory here, 7/1000th of a second. That equates to about 2.5 feet. These guys were hooked up door handle to door handle all the way through. What a look at that,
wow,
man. That is awesome.
That's what the fans are coming out for.
Boy, undetectable, I guarantee you, by both of those guys who won that race.
Dobbs of Welland, Ontario, one of the Canadian contingent coming to the line.
Yeah, and he'll line up alongside the man, Mark Thomas.
The 44-year-old dairy farmer from Louisville, Ohio. He's looking for his first win this year. Here's the ladder.
To take a look at things here, as you can see, Ronnie Midget's already moved on. Rob Atkinson will eventually move on to take on Ronnie. Then it'll be Thomas and Dobbs, who we have here, and then Terry McMillan will race Evan Chuck.
Evan Chuck, considered to be the dean of Western Canada funny cars with his Red Wolf. He's looking for a win in front of the home crowd.
Yeah, and we heard Kathy Fisher talk about Mark Thomas's crew chief a little bit earlier. Of course, Jimmy Rector, a defending champion in this category, definitely on his game. We'll find out if Mark Thomas is on his game.
Well, he told Mark, don't worry about the car, just cut a good light and shift properly, and we'll be in victory lane.
That's definitely a tough thing to do. Sounds a lot easier than it really is when you're inside of that car. There's a lot going on, a lot of steering going on. You want to hit those buttons at exactly the right time.
He's up against Larry Dobbs, another Canadian, Welland, Ontario. Made the trek out here. Fans love it. Fans love their Canadian drag racers.
Larry Dobbs in a 2001 Corvette. Here we go.
The sound of speed. IHRA rocks.
9/1000ths the difference at the starting line, but at the finish line, baby, it was all Mark Thomas. What a nice job.
Yeah, Dobbs slowed up about half track. It goes to Mark Thomas, moving on to the next round.
Watch it here once again. Looked like one of the cylinders might have been messing just a little bit over there for Dobbs. Kind of hard to tell, though. They really dump the fuel to those things on the starting line. In fact, sometimes they try to knock a couple cylinders out. And then, of course, it picks him up. Looks like he runs pretty nice there at the start of the track, but Mark Thomas, that big Jimmy Rector horsepower, comes on hard. Right on across. No competition at all there at the end.
Part of the large crowd that's here today has come out. Hi, Mom. You brought the kids. Everybody in Edmonton loves IHRA.
Let's go to Kathy.
Hey, now. You guys save that for later, all right? 602, that's like one of the best runs we've seen so far today in your class.
Well, you know, we'd been good. We ran the 594, 596 is what we wanted to do. We came out here and we said, okay, let's run mid 6.0s, not get too crazy. We've got a lot of good parts, but let's not use them up till we need them. And for the hot weather and the way things are going, worry a little bit about the track, but it's got some teeth. And I got to say this much, the fans up here are fantastic. Nicest people you'd ever want to meet. So, having said that, I still got 2 rounds to race, but we're hoping we can do good. Got to redeem ourselves from the last race.
Well, and it looks like the reaction times are coming together, too.
I don't even know what the word, but I'm trying hard. Jimmy's up there giving me that evil eye looking in the car telling me, you better get out of Dodge, boy. So I'm trying to make him proud.
Well, if Jimmy gave me the evil eye, I'd be moving fast, too.
No doubt about it. Thank you.
See you next round.
We'll be here. Thanks.
One of the nicest guys in drag racing, Mark Thomas. Hey, the playground, the kids are out there. Hey, there's a future Hooters girl out there wearing her shirt.
When we come back, we'll finish up round 2.
For the past 20 years, Hooters has been there. Which is why, as we celebrate our 20th anniversary, we can now say what the skeptics have been saying all along. We're history. Hooters, still winging it after all these years. Come celebrate Hooters' 20th anniversary with 20% off food and merchandise the 20th of every month.
I'm Stanley Johnson. I've got a great family. I've got a 4-bedroom house in a great community. Like my car? It's new. I even belong to the local golf club. How do I do it? I'm in debt up to my eyeballs.
Need a smart way to consolidate your debt? At LendingTree.com, you can combine all your separate high-interest charges into one low monthly payment. Call 1-800-831-4964.
I can barely pay my finance charges.
Right now, you can take advantage of home equity rates as low as 3.75%, and your interest may be tax deductible.
Somebody help me.
Come to LendingTree.com, where banks compete and you choose the loan that's right for you. When banks compete, you win at LendingTree.com. Call 1-800-831-4964.
Summit Racing Equipment wants to know, what are you going to build today? We asked Steve Sahaychek to check out this ratty 69 Camaro. Ready, Steve? Ready. Steve calls Summit toll-free, orders parts, talks with their tech guys. Steve can even order parts online at summitracing.com. Slick.
Summit ships in stock parts today order.
Thousands of parts at Summit's low prices. Way cool, Steve. Were you happy with Summit's fast service and low prices? You bet. Parts, price, service. Summit Racing has the stuff you need to build the stuff you want.
This IHRA telecast is being brought to you by Carl Chevrolet, the official car and truck dealer of the IHRA. Well, we're going to wind things up here with the second round of eliminations, find out who's going to the semis at the Rocky Mountain Nationals.
Here comes Terry McMillan in the newly named Instigator Amalie Oil Funny Car.
Yeah, they just had a contest to find out the name of that car, if I'm not mistaken.
They sure did. It was a national contest to name the car. You can see by that alligator snout. The name of the car is the Instigator.
We'll take a look at the points here. Rob Atkinson on top. Boy, having a great year, followed by Tony Boglo. Then it's Ronnie Midget, Mark Thomas, and Mike Camella, who round out the top 5. As we look at the top 10, it's Terry McMillan, John Boros, John Foster, Terry Monroe, and Von Smith, former world champion with the IHRA. You know, we talked to the competitor for Terry McMillan, John Evanchuk, who's from Edmonton, Alberta. He was very happy that the IHRA made the trek.
Well, this is huge for the city of Edmonton. It's huge for the racers, it's huge for the spectators, and it's huge for the city. The economic impact, I just can't imagine how much it is. I'm sure it's comparable to what other big venues we've had in here in Edmonton, such as, you know, the Commonwealth Games and whatnot. So, and those weren't too long ago. I'm sure we're right there with them.
That's a beautiful car. They call it the Red Wolf. And there you see the Instigator, that beautiful alligator paint job on the Amalie Funny Car. there's a red light.
Yeah, he missed it by 11 thousandths of a second. We're talking about John Evanchuk, a little bit too excited. Will not make it to the semifinals, so the win will go to Terry McMillan, who runs 6:07. Real nice job at 232 miles an hour.
Good run for Terry. He's going to move on to meet Mark Thomas next round.
That's a shame, boy. Just left a little bit too quick.
Got a little squirrely there, too.
Ran 229 miles an hour. The car was definitely moving. Not quite there with Terry McMillan, but a real nice run. Terry McMillan is up at the top end, and Terry's going 230 miles an hour even before he gets inside of that car. He's at the top end there with Kathy Fisher.
What'd you do, shake him up a little bit on the line?
Yeah, we did. I think we had a pretty good light. I know he red lighted, and you know, the Emily Oil Plenty car's flying this weekend. We've been very consistent all weekend long, and you know, we're looking for good things. We got Mark Thomas next round. I see we both ran about the same number, so that'll be a good heads-up race, and you know, we're going to take it. We'll see what happens.
We'll see you next round. Good luck.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Here we got Rob Atchison, winner of the last two funny car races in Grand Bend and Richmond. He's got a bye. He's going to move on to the next round against Ronnie Midget.
You know, after not showing up at San Antonio, he's had 10 unanswered rounds of competition. That's why he's the points leader. Great job here. As a matter of fact, does an awesome job. The best reaction time of the day with an 0.57, and then runs low ET of the day with a 5.93, 238 miles an hour. He is definitely ready for the semifinals.
Once you get in that winning groove, it's hard to stop Rob.
Boy, there's no question those guys are doing a fabulous job. When we come back, we'll pick things up with round number 2 of Pro Stock action.
Hi, girls.
Of all the rotten luck, damned to spend eternity pushing a boulder up a hill. Oh, it's enough to send a bloke mad. What? Hello? Oh, now I'm hearing voices.
Sisyphus, you've hit rock bottom. What you need is Red Bull, stimulation for body and mind. So, Sisyphus, feeling a little bolder?
You bet. Suddenly eternity isn't long enough. Way. Red Bull gives you wings.
Oh, Sisyphus.
Starting Monday, your weeknights are gonna get a whole lot faster. NASCAR TV, the world of NASCAR, weeknight 6 to 8 and all night Friday. Autofocus, different shows each night where the cars are the stars. Wind Tunnel, Dave, motorsports newsmakers, and you. Racing, adrenaline junkies, strap in. Check out the new lineup. Whatever you're into, it's all about speed.
If you suffer from
Looking for an easier way to pay your cable bill? Visit Shaw at www.shaw.ca, where paying your bill is just a click away.
Hey, kid, you didn't pay for that chocolate bar.
What are you talking about?
The chocolate bar I saw you put in your pocket. You didn't pay for it.
Is this your son?
Yes.
Your son was caught shoplifting at a store just down the street about an hour ago.
Did your friends put you up to this?
No.
Then where on earth did you learn to steal?
But Dad, you steal satellite signals.
13L30, Roger.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Rocky Mountain Nationals presented by GM Goodwrench Service. Kathy Fisher's with our inaugural winner from San Antonio. They're talking about points in Pro Stock.
Sunoco Race Fuels Pro Stock is no doubt the closest competition with Hooters IHRA drag racing. Just to give you an example, look at the points chase. Between first and third, only separated by 33 points. That means from this point of the season on, every single round is critical, and that includes qualifying position. Rick Jones, he's in at number 3. Now, if he can put together 4 good rounds this weekend, that's going to make a close competition even tighter with the points chase.
No, we've got to talk about Rick Jones, too, because he was low in round 1. Actually, he and Jason Collins with a 6.68, so he's ready to go. Carl Baker's on top of the points, followed by Brian Game. As we take a look at the top 10 here, John Montecalvo in the number 6 spot with the Chevy. And let's talk to our points leader, Carl and Donna Baker, about their undefeated last 2 races.
We all know that IHRA drag racing is a family sport, Carl Baker and Donna Baker are just another great example of that. And Donna, you do a lot of special things for Carl and the team. You guys have been racing together since, well, pretty much you got together.
Yeah, we've been racing on many years, and in 1998 we started racing Pro Stock, and we've been having such a great time. It's unbelievable.
There's a lot of special things that you do to make it fun for the team, to make it fun for the fans that you come up with.
Right, we give flowers and Carl rides around and gives them out to all the pretty girls. In my Lucky Rocks, I don't leave the house without a Lucky Rock.
She's just behind us 100%. She'll do anything I ask her to do. She videotapes every run, then she takes care of us in the pits and on the road.
Why is the motor named Donosaurus?
Donosaurus came to life this spring.
The name really came from 30 years ago.
An old nickname of mine was Brontosaurus, so they named the old motor Brontosaurus and they named the new one Donosaurus.
The Brontosaurus has a small head and a big body.
And she's turned out to be a real good engine for us.
We know now that Donosaurus is a lot better than Brontosaurus.
You two do so much together, being out on the road, being able to stay together as a couple. What has that meant for you two?
I mean, I couldn't do this without her. She's 110% behind me. I couldn't think of a better partner to be racing with.
Got to tell you, I'm inclined to go with that Donosaurus is better than Brontosaurus, too, based on the last two races. That thing has definitely been working for him.
Donna is a special lady. I saw her out in the pits this morning. She's looking for an Edmonton rock. Jason Collins came up and said, "What are you doing?" She says, "I'm looking for a Lucky Rock." He said, "Can you find one for me?" She said, "Well, this is for Carl." He said, "Well, then get me a runner-up at least."
Take what you can get, right?
That's right, that's right.
And Carl Baker will line up alongside Doug Kirk. Both of these guys, excellent mountain motor pro stock racers. Pre-stage, they'll roll forward about 7 inches and turn on the stage beam, then it's showtime.
815 cubic inches of mountain motor in pro stock.
Reaction time's very respectable for both, but the better of the two will go to the winner. Doug Kirk with an 043 light runs 669 at 208 miles an hour. Front end perched up nicely there on Carl Baker's car, but just not quite enough at the other end.
Well, Doug and Carl Kirk and the team have been struggling all week. I had a chance to sit with them Friday night, and they said, we just can't get our qualifying together. So they went over, borrowed some carburetors from Angelo Alessi, who's running a second car for Brian Game. Looks like that might have helped.
Yeah, he's definitely a guru. There's no question about it. Does a great job. And speaking of Brian Game, there he is right there. Let's go to the top. Kathy Fisher's with Doug Kirk.
Looks like you had him covered no matter what, not only with your 69 run, and you had a hole shot on him.
That ain't, normally that ain't like me. I'm usually the late one. You know, he beat me at Canada here about a month ago on a hole shot, and just maybe kind of a little revenge there.
Anything special going into the next round with the way the track is really hot?
No, the crew I got, I hope it just keeps getting hotter, because I think if it gets real nasty, I think that's to our advantage right now.
Good luck. See you next round.
Thank you.
Game versus Frank Gugliotta, who's going rounds this year, has been doing very, very well in 2003.
And Gugliotta beat Henry by 36 thousandths there in round number 1, but look at that. Game goes red here, and round number 2, Frank will go into the semifinals.
And number 1 and 2 in Sunoco Pro Stock points are out.
Wow, what an upset here. Great job of Frank Gugliotta, but unfortunately, Brian Game missed it by .128. He was red by a little over 1/10 of a second, and the beautiful Jerry Haas machine will go in the box.
Wow. This has great implications for the points. Rick Jones has got to be salivating as he comes to the line.
No question. So Gugliotta sneaks by Henry in round number 1 by 36 thousandths and then gets a lucky break here. It doesn't matter how you get there in this category, just as long as you get there. We'll take a look at the stripe, and it didn't matter. Even though Game got there first, he was already done.
A couple thousand miles away.
Take a look at the ladder here, show you how things are progressing as we have 2 of our semifinalists lined up already. Of course, we see Kirk on one side, Gugliotta on the other. Then it'll be John Monaco with a Chevy versus a Dodge here, and Rick Jones coming up. And we'll also have Jason Collins and Elijah Morton do battle to find out who's going to race our other 2 semifinal competitors. When we come back, it'll be more Mountain Motor Pro Stocks.
Now there's a no-risk way to try men's hair color. You can see what you'd look like without gray and go back to the way you were just as fast.
Introducing Tryout from Just for Men. It's free and it's easy. Just comb it in, check it out, rinse the color out.
No risk, no commitment.
And you can get the same look later with regular Just for Men. Call toll-free 1-888-202-3223. Get your free sample now.
You can get a new garage or backyard workshop delivered to your door because for the first time, you can get American steel span direct from the factory.
My building went up in no time. And when you deal directly with the factory, you save a lot of money.
I love the strength of the building. It's maintenance free, and me and a couple buddies put it up in one weekend.
They go up easy. 2 guys, 1 weekend, and you're done.
Our building is so spacious. My husband has his workshop, and there's even room for my home office.
You'll save a lot when you buy your American Tough American Steel Span garage or workshop with a 25-year all-weather guarantee.
American Steel Span is the best bang for the buck in small buildings.
For 38 years, we've guaranteed steel buildings for the military, for farmers, and for truckers. And this is the first time that you can buy an American Steel Span garage or workshop directly from our factory.
Pick up the phone and get your free instant expert building planning kit. And if you're among the first 200 callers, we'll send you a savings certificate worth up to $5,000.
When they're gone, they're gone.
Mondays on Speed, get inside Winston Cup. Michael, Johnny, Alan, and Kenny recap Sunday's race like no one else. On the track Sunday, on the air Monday. Inside Winston Cup, Monday nights at 7, exclusively on Speed.
Hooters IHRA is international.
Yes, we are. We're back in Edmonton, Alberta. Thanks, girls. You know, we had a chance to make the trek out here, and one of the people that made it happen was the track owner, Rob Reeves. We caught up with him.
Yeah, this is our inaugural race. You know, we've got a contract for the next 5 years. We're going to get bigger, better at this. It's going to be exciting, and IHRA and Budweiser Motorsports Park are really excited to put this venue on for everybody. The crowd out here has been fantastic all weekend long. We've been packed on Friday, Saturday, and now, I mean, it's going to be just fantastic all weekend. The Alberta and the Western Canadians are just excited about this event, and they're all out here to watch it.
You know, at the open of the show, we talked about atmospheric conditions, and we caught up with Rick Jones, the man that won our inaugural event here in Mountain Motor Pro Stock at San Antonio, for a little more info.
The conditions here are definitely different what we used to. Most like sea level type conditions. The barometer here is like 2750, and a lot of times in normal conditions, around sea level conditions, it can be anywhere from like 29.0 to up to 30.0. And that makes a big difference in horsepower on these motors. We lose approximately 100, 150 horsepower. So we have to actually change the transmission ratios in the car, change the timing and the jetting in the motors to get the car to react to similar conditions like it would be at sea level conditions.
Boy, no questions. These guys rely on the air that's available to them with the normally aspirated power plants. We'll see a Sonny Leonard motor inside of John Montecalvo's car. Here we go.
Oh, yeah! Rick nabs him at the top.
Yeah, very, very close race. The difference at the starting line, just 0.08 of a second. Then at the finish line, 671 to a 673. 18 thousandths at the finish line, and the win by 10,000ths of a second will go to the man in the Dodge, Rick Jones. What a great job. This is a great side-by-side drag race.
It sure is. Monty gets out there, but he's chasing him down right now. And again, as we mentioned, this has great Sunoco Pro Stock points implications.
Montecalvo was out first, but just couldn't quite hang with the Dodge. Look how close this is, man. What a great job. About 3 feet the difference there at the finish line.
The only Mopar, meaning Dodge, in the field. Hey, Elijah Morton, he's up. You know what? He's going to ride his motorcycle back, Ken, from Edmonton back to North Carolina after the race. Wants to see the country. I think that's kind of neat.
You know, we talked about Rick Jones having low ET in round number 1. Well, Jason Collins was right there with him. Both of those guys ran 668 at 208 miles an hour in round number 1. So we'll see Jason Collins lined up alongside Elijah Morton here.
Yeah, Jason with a neat sponsorship, the Virginia Technical College. And when the car's not racing, it's on display at the school.
Two awesome-looking vehicles. Identical reaction times. And the wind win goes to Jason Collins, 672.0, 208 miles an hour. Another great drag race margin of victory, 32 thousandths of a second. You've got to love Pro Stock. Man, these guys are just hooked up.
Yeah, you do. Those guys you just saw, that's Dexter, their truck driver. He can't believe it. And Jeff Dobbins, who accidentally got hit in the eye with a rock and couldn't race this weekend. So get well, Jeff.
Boy, I'll tell you, look at these guys. Well, slow-mo right here, side by side. One guy saying to the other guy, come on, baby, can I get him? And right there at the very end, Jason Collins just nudges him out.
And Rick gets the Kirkster, Doug Kirk, in the next round.
There you go. Let's go to the top end where Kathy's with our winner.
Almost identical reaction times off the line, but you just pulled him on the big end.
Yeah, we've been working hard this weekend, and we finally got our car, you know, just running a little better. And while I got a chance, I want to thank my sponsor, BC Tech, Birmingham, Alabama, Craig Pruitt, Dr. Horn, Dr. Hutton. I want to thank all of them because they're the ones that are making this possible. And we're going to give them what we can next round. We're doing the best we can. We're working hard, that's for sure. And maybe this old rag will whoop them and take us to the finals.
Well, we hope to see you there.
Thank you.
This old rag. $150,000 worth of car there, man.
I don't think his dad, Jack, is going to appreciate him referring to that beautiful car as a rag. A great racer, a great racer.
Medium rare? Sausage and the steak are free. The buns are $6. The mediums are, Alberta beef, top sirloin, 6 ounce. Or Angus beef. Best in the world. Thank you. Speed fish.
Hey, what a cutie.
Hey, look at there. Here's a future drag racer. She's all geared up, got the headgear on, and you can purchase headgear here at these races.
You can get hats, you can get T-shirts, you can get sweatshirts, very cool jackets at any IHRA race, or log on to speed.com, click over to IHRA, and you can buy your merchandise. Oh, those are great shirts.
You can also keep up with everything, of course, with Drag Review. When we come back, more drag racing.
If you're struggling with credit card debt, Ameridebt has the cure. First, consider the problem. You have between $2,500 and $40,000 of credit card debt. Understand your options. You could borrow money, file bankruptcy, or you can get immediate help from Ameridebt, a nonprofit debt management company. Ameridebt will create a rescue program that will reduce high interest rates and make your monthly payments affordable. There's no credit check and no property required. Now you can enjoy your life again.
Ameridebt has reduced my payments so much, I never even imagined it would be this easy.
When I called Ameridebt, they dropped down the interest rate to an average of 7%.
Without Ameridebt, I was looking at 10 to 20 years before paying off this debt.
C-U-R-E, the cure. Ameridebt is the cure. Call 1-800-THE-CURE.
Call for your free and confidential credit card debt analysis. Call in the next 8 minutes to see how fast you can get out of debt. Call 1-800-THE-CURE.
How many people did it take to put a man on the moon? One man with a vision. Hi, I'm Carl Moyer, and my vision is to create a car dealership unlike any other. A place where customer relationships always come first. A place where you can get your car serviced when it's convenient for you. A place where customer satisfaction isn't just a set of words. At Carl Chevrolet, we're doing things differently to create a premier buying experience for you. Come see for yourself.
Good job.
Oh, we got trouble.
Come on, you're a cowboy.
Don't you love it?
Tough drivers, tough trucks. The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, only on Speed.
There's Mark Thomas signing an autograph. In fact, yesterday, we had our big Spectra 1 autograph session right in the middle of the track. All the fans got to come down, get an autograph, take a picture, meet their heroes up close. It was great.
We'll continue on here with Sunoco Pro Stock, and this will be the semifinals. We just spoke to that man a moment ago, Jason Collins, and he said he's going to try to get that old rag into the finals. Take a look at the ladder here. It'll be Kirk against Jones and Gugliotta against Collins, and Collins just performed that burnout. Who's going to go to the final two?
There's the Thodos car, driven by the Flying Meatball is his nickname, Frank Gugliotta from Mount Airy, Maryland.
Yeah, super guy, too. A lot of these guys, I mean, just absolutely fabulous individuals that show up in the drag racing industry. Very, very good work ethic. They spend a lot of money, they make a lot of money, and they work hard to get it.
Yeah. Frank is an intense guy, but it means so much to him. He's doing much, much better. He's been going rounds this year. I expect to see him in a Sunoco Pro Stock winner's circle very soon. Oh, listen to that sound. Woo! 815 inches of mountain motor.
Yeah, very deep-throated rumble as these guys pull up to the starting line.
And we'll be seeing that Sunoco Pro shootout at Norwalk later this season.
Boy, great reaction time for Frank Gugliotta on 026 line. Is it going to be enough? No! Collins drives back around him, 670, 209 miles an hour, and he wins this one by 9 thousandths of a second. Talk about being behind the gun and having to drive back around somebody.
Absolutely. He drove by him down there at the end. He even gets a little, he's driving it down, out to the wall, back to the middle, and runs him down at the end.
Boy, gave up 37 thousandths at the starting line and came back just to nip him as they dumped the laundry going across the stripe.
And you can see that disappointment right there.
We'll go to the top end where Kathy Fisher once again is with Jason Collins.
Jason, congratulations going on to the final. This is where we like to see you go.
Yeah, boy, the track was slick that run. It was all over the racetrack. It was a little hard to handle. I almost lifted on that run. But glad I stayed in it. Glad I made it to the other end. We got the win going to the finals.
It's a good thing you did. That looks like that was a pretty close race at the top end.
Yeah, it was real close. Car went left and it spun around a little bit. The track's just getting real greasy, so we're going to have to probably back it down a little bit in the finals, get down the racetrack straight and make a good run.
See you next round.
Thank you.
Here's the last semifinal round in Pro Stock. We've got Doug Kirk versus Rick Jones. Mopar versus Mustang.
Yep, here we go. Once again, we already have one Cougar in the finals. Will it be against another Mustang, or will it be against a Dodge Neon? Jones with the better of the two reaction times, an 0.75 light, and he will get the win. Go to the finals again this year, and it'll be Dodge against Mercury Cougar. What a great job. The big Hemi making some snot. Goes 673, 207 miles an hour. Take a look at, boy, you could physically see the Dodge move before the Mustang.
Yep. And he tried to run him down again. He started to move in, Doug did, but not at the end. Not at the end.
Yeah, Doug Kirk lost a little bit of mile an hour at 206, but had a better ET of 672. So Rick Jones will win this one on a hole shot. Great driving job. Let's go to the top end where Kathy Fisher's caught up with the man that cut that better light.
You're just chomping away on that to get to that points lead, and you could have it by the end of today.
Yeah, I tell you, this Quartermax team is working real hard. Mark Stockseth, Butch White, my son Ricky and Bonnie, we're just working real hard, and I'm trying to drive the best I can to put this Quartermax Neon in the winner's circle today.
Well, you know, I know it has a lot to do with driving, but it's also tuning that car before you take it out there. And what is it, like 1,000 adjusted altitude that's worse?
Yeah, it's definitely a lot worse than it was this morning and yesterday, so every run you got to compensate for it, and it's a lot of hard work and conditions we've never been in before, but we're just working hard and trying to make adjustments, and hopefully we can pull this last one off.
Well, you've been to the final round before this year, and we know what happened there. You could do it again.
Yeah, I'm real hungry, and I tell you, I just can't be more pleased for my family and my team and everybody at Quartermax. Thanks.
You know, Rick was a pretty good race driver, but he built a practice simulator because he wants to become a great one, and it's starting to pay off for him, and he's doing a real good job going to the finals, and I dig those shades he's wearing, too.
Yeah, he's also going to have to find a little more horsepower in that thing because his competitor, Jason Collins, went a 70 to his 73. Let's go to Kathy Fisher, who's going to talk to us more about the semifinals and Funny Car.
We've been saying it all weekend that Rob Atchison and his team were the ones to watch in Funny Car, and they just proved that again the last round with a 593, just about a tenth of a second faster than anyone else in Funny Car. And Pro Stock is getting exciting as well. Number 1 and number 2 in the points, they're already out of here. That is going to give Rick Jones the opportunity, who's number 3 in the points right now. He wins 2 more rounds. He'll be number 1 in the points.
No doubt it's very exciting here in the middle of the season. Points battles are heating up, and every round makes a huge difference. Terry McMillan, what do you have to say for us, buddy?
Hello, I'm Terry McMillan, Alcohol Funny Car Driver. Stay tuned for more Hooters IHRA drag racing on speed.
What happened here? Just playing some one-on-one, got a little rough. Let's get him out. Oh, I don't want you to do anything yet. I just want to see your price and some of the prices of your competitors.
What? Hey, come on, guys.
I just want to get the best deal. You know?
Our customers know the importance of shopping around, because at Progressive.com you can get our price for car insurance plus the rates of other big-name companies. You could save hundreds. Check out Progressive today.
This Sunday on Speed, live coverage of the German Grand Prix, the Toyota Atlantic Series live from Quebec, the American Le Mans Series live from Trois-Rivières. That's all this Sunday, only on Speed.
Please, sir, can you have some more speed?
More speed? More speed? You should be happy with what we give you.
With Shaw, there's no need to ask for more. Save when you combine digital cable and internet to give you the speed you're looking for.
More speed, sir?
I don't have any more.
Get more from Shaw.
What does it take to be the fastest in the world? What drives us to chase the absolute limits of speed? Experience the science of ultimate velocity through the story of 4 uncommonly fast individuals who push the limits of nature to the edge of endurance. It's thrilling action. It's human drama. It's top speed in IMAX. Now playing at the Odysseum.
Hooters IHRA Drag Racing Series. As you can see, one of the Hooters girls there having some fun, interacting with some of the fans. Kathy Fisher caught up with Rob Atchison, who's been on Kill.
Rob Atchison and his family, they know drag racing. Goes back a long way. And Rob, you've been racing for quite some time. How exactly did you get started in drag racing?
I guess I was about 19 years old and wanted to try racing for myself, and I was lucky enough to have a friend of the family who had a car they weren't using, so they said, hey, take the car for a ride, see if you like it, because too much time and money spent to build a car and then say, geez, I really don't like this, I'd rather turn left, right? So hopped in the drag car, and first pass I fell in love.
Your dad's a crew chief, right?
Yeah, my dad's a crew chief. He's the heart and soul behind it. He works so many hours, and he makes sure everything's perfect. He's a professor at that. It's just pretty cool to see and to learn. And but it's a whole family. My uncle, my mom, my cousins, my entire family loves what I do, and they support me so much.
I'm very happy to go because we're a very close family, and I'd rather be at the races with them than worry about them at home.
My mom's my hardest working crew member. She does all the bad jobs, or the jobs that she prefers to do. I guess she cooks for us, and she makes sure that everything's right, gets our clothes ready for us and stuff.
Rob Atchison gets out quick, and it looks like he's going to drive away from the 5-time world champion. Atchison wins.
It was unbelievable. I just, I was so proud of him, and still brings tears to my eyes. And the second one was really, really amazing.
To win a race at home was definitely a fairy tale come true. I mean, that was, I would have loved to win so many races before then, but to finally get a chance and to win it at home that's awesome.
He deserved to win. They worked all winter on that car to try and get it better.
We're looking no lower than a world championship. I mean, that it would be kind of sad if we didn't aim that high. I mean, every race we come here to win, and I mean, we can't win them all, but we're going to try our hardest.
Well, he's definitely on a roll so far. He's won all of them that he's been at so far.
Looking for the hat trick this weekend.
Rob Atchison will line up alongside Ronnie Midget here and find out who's going to the finals.
Yeah, Midget's on a 3-year program, he says. They get better every race, and his team, Mike Couch and Mark Midget, Mike Paradise, Roy Dobbs, they're working together. That second win should be coming soon, the first since '89. Let's see if he goes on.
Atchison puts the better part of a tenth of a second on him right at the starting line and then drives on to a 598, 236 miles an hour. That car is on rails.
It is, and Midget would have done a lot better if he'd left on time, but that's how it goes. But that team's getting together.
Yeah, no question about it. I'll tell you what, man, Rob Atchison has definitely found the combination. He and his family working very, very hard. A two-car team here as they have two different cars that they've won with already this year, and this one, once again, coming back here is just doing a phenomenal job.
Well, Rob says the Moore sponsorship is helping. He got some paint sponsor. They're painting the town with Benjamin Moore.
Let's go to the top end. Kathy Fisher's with our winner, Rob Atchison.
What exactly was going on there at the starting line?
I don't know. The bulb was flickering a lot. It looked like Ronnie was struggling to get in or was taking his time. That's all right. You guys just missed. The crew that drove by here's the reason why I'm here. Those guys are awesome. This Erickson Manufacturing Funny Car's flying.
Yes, it is, because you are still running in the 590s. That is going to be a tough act to beat.
I know. Well, Mark Thomas is yet to run. They're a tough team, and you never know. Like, Terry McMillan can step up, and I got to thank the folks at NGK, Pennzoil. Man, I wouldn't be here without them. Everybody's help. This is awesome. Going to another final. It's crazy.
And don't forget to say hi to somebody.
Julie, my grandma at home, too. My grandma watches all the time. Julie, I love you. Going to the final, honey.
Julie is his girlfriend. She's a weather person at the local London television station.
Boy, that is just unbelievable. 3 finals in a row for Rob. He is definitely doing a great job. We'll find out if he's going to line up alongside this man, or will Terry McMillan steal it away from him?
There's Jimmy Rector giving his driver some advice. Again, he's saying, don't worry about the car, shift it right, and we'll be in victory lane.
Terry McMillan will line up on the other side. You see his wife over there helping out. Terry's son, the crew chief. Boy, they are close at the starting line.
There goes Mark. Mark's driving by him.
And Mark Thomas will get the win. 6:04 to a 6:12, 235 miles an hour. Mark Thomas and Rob Atchison will meet again. And I'll tell you what, if Rob can beat the 5-time world champ like he did previously at Grand Bend, look at the tire chatter, by the way, there out of Mark Thomas's car. That thing definitely rattling the tires. You've got to think if they get that problem fixed up, that car definitely has a 5-second run in it. But this is going to be a great run between these two, no question. Talk about two. Those are awesome. Let's go to the top.
Well, I guess we had to say see you later, Gator, because there was no match for you.
Well, you know, we're really intense at this point in time because we really messed up in Richmond. All right? We want to get back in this points thing. Right now, Rob and I are definitely going to leave here 1 and 2. Whoever wins this thing is going to leave here in 1 and 2. We hope it's us. I know it's his native land, but I'm hoping I can take it away from him. But it'll be a good drag race.
Well, you know, he's running 2 last passes who've been in the 590s. What's it going to take to get your car down the track in that amount of time?
Well, they're on a good roll. And we came in here today, we decided we were going to run low 6.0s until we had to. We've got a really bad blower at home, at the trailer. It's going on, and we're going to step this baby up. We might step on our duck, and we might haul butt, but we're hoping we can win.
I had a feeling you may have a few secrets we didn't know about.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun. Thank you.
Good luck at the final.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Don't turn that dial. IHRA rocks on speed.
That's a wrap.
Music.com. Get loaded.
Due to overwhelming demand, United Steel Factory will continue to offer pre-engineered steel buildings of every size at factory prices, from residential garages to large commercial buildings. No building too small, no building too large. Why use wood or cement? No painting, no termites, no wood rot. All steel do-it-yourself bolt-together design guaranteed to meet your local building codes. Save thousands on pre-engineered steel buildings. Call 1-888-75-STEEL or go to UnitedSteelFactory.com. That's 1-888-75-STEEL.
Now, you sure I can't help you with the down payment?
Yeah, Dad.
Well, buying a house is a big step.
I know. I'm ready.
Okay. Just make sure you get a good real estate agent. Makes all the difference.
Really?
trust me.
Want to find the right realtor for you? At LendingTree.com, you choose from up to 4 local realtors certified by LendingTree and get up to a $2,000 gift card. LendingTree.com.
You guys need a hand there?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a long day.
Whenever you need help with your air conditioning,
Got some problems.
wherever you need it, your Bryant dealer will get it to you, whatever it takes.
It's a full house here in Edmonton at Budweiser Motorsports Park. You know, Ken, one of the unique things about IHRA and the Hooters Drag Racing Series is the Night of Fire. And this is the bumper-to-bumper Night of Fire, as a matter of fact. And we've got everything. The final round of pro qualifying. We've got wheel standers. Here we got some of these pro mods going down the track. This is a class called the Thunderbolts. They're fast 7.5-second bracket cars, jet-powered Honda. Oh, some pro stock cars. They're staging Steve Latemp. They all like them. Look at those wheels spin!
Yeah, we have something for everybody, no question about it, for the hardcore racing fans in qualifying. And, of course, we have a lot of exhibition vehicles as well. We see some of the funny cars come out of here in their qualifying session. Wheel standards, as you mentioned before, jet vehicles, something for everybody of all ages.
Yeah, the fans are eating it up. They love. Oh, we even had the police. The Mounties and the Edmonton police raced each other. We got the cool bus. We got wheel stands. There's that jet-powered Honda Civic again. Flame out! Beautiful. Oh, the king of Quake, Bob Moats, always closes the show, always sends them home happy. The king of Quake, 200-mile-an-hour jet Kenworth truck, and you can only see this at IHRA. Thank you, folks. Fireworks, gas bombs. See you next year.
Earlier, we spoke with Jerry Brown, the local track champion of the IHRA Summit Super Series.
Summit's an incredible company, and they've really stepped behind us, and for them to put this kind of money on the line and to provide a program that we can participate in at our local track, it's just incredible. The quality of racers in this series are second to none, and to be the top man, that would be absolutely incredible.
You can be a world champion by racing at your own track. No box racers have a 105.5 prize package, the cash with the Summit bonus, the Grand Prix, the bike, the World Championship ring, an Ironman, and again, that Ray Price Harley-Davidson Buell Blast sports bike. The box racers, same prize with that Summit bonus, the Turnkey Worthy Dragster, which is a beaut, the Diamond Ring, and the IHRA Ironman. Here's the no box leaders: Jim Adams, Mylan, Jerry Ray Hunt. We've got Junior Weaver, Steve Keller, Jay Robinson from the Lone Star, Bill Cummings-Greer, Brian Sideru, William Jerry, Lane Dickin, and Tim Lee. They're all leading at this point. Remember, though, you can't be the Summit World Champion if you don't race. Call your track, ask them, I want to be the Summit World Champion.
Let's go to Kathy, who's talking about Pro Stock Finals.
We know that the toughest class in Hooters IHRA drag racing would be the Sunoco Race Fuels Pro Stock. Found that out again this weekend. Points lead, it's changing. All Rick Jones has to do is go up and stage in the final round, and he's at least going to go home the winner of the points lead. But he's going to be taking on a tough competitor. Jason Collins, he's only lost this year because he's beat himself. So we'll find out what type of a drag race we're going to have. Who will be the winner? We'll find out soon.
When we come back, it will be exciting. We'll find out who's going to take the Ironman in the Mountain Motor Pro Stock category. Finals coming up.
Approach the bench.
Down here, sir.
What could you possibly have to say in your defense?
I would, but my throat is so dry, sir.
Oh, bailiff, get him a shot glass of tap water.
Actually, sir, I was hoping more for some...
Some champagne? Not likely. Not for you.
No, I was hoping for a Red Bull, sir, if you don't mind, please.
Bailiff, get him a Red Bull, whatever that is.
Thank you, sir.
Now, what do you have to say for yourself? Hey, sit down. I'll hold you in contempt. I'll sentence your hat.
See you later, sucker. Red Bull gives you wings.
Up next, Sawinski, Miller, and Garvey have their eyes on the prize. ASA Racing live from Grand Rapids. Check it out next, only on Speed.
If you're... This summer, Saturday nights are game nights. Primetime football every Saturday night. The CFL on CBC.
Showtime, baby!
Saturday nights at 6:30 Eastern.
The adventure continues as CPAC sets out for another season of the award-winning Great Canadian Tour. Intrepid host Glenn McInnes goes off the beaten path to show you Canada from a different angle. Unusual places, national treasures, remarkable Canadians. Get all the details on the web. Go to cpac.ca and click here. Take the ultimate summer vacation without leaving home. The Great Canadian Tour. Watch for it on CPAC.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the IHRA Drag Racing Series. It's time for the Sunoco Pro Stock Finals, and we have Jason Collins and Rick Jones. These two have been hooked up all day long. Both of them were low in round number 1. And then it was Rick Jones who had an edge in round number 2. Jason had an edge in round number 3, the semis. And now we're going to find out who's going to have the edge in the money race. The trophy dash, if you will, should be very, very good.
As Kathy said, Jason has not lost in competition this year. When he loses, he tends to beat himself by making silly mistakes. That's what he needs to avoid in this final against a tough Rick Jones.
These two guys have been in 3 finals combined. Jason's been in 2 of them. He's 1-1. Both came in 2002, and his only win came at the expense of Doug Kirk at Cordova in 2002. Of course, Rick's only win came a little bit earlier this year at Texas, the only time he's ever been to the finals. So welcome back to the finals here, Rick Jones. This should be a great one. Once again, we'll have Dodge versus Ford, or Mercury Cougar, if you'd like to call it.
These cars have come over 2,500 miles to win this deal. Let's see who's going. Let's listen to the sound of Pro Stock on speed.
Oh, and it looked like Rick Jones moved around just a little bit. A 3,000 starting line advantage goes to Jason Collins, and he takes it, runs it out the back door as he goes 40 thousandths quicker in ET, beats him at both ends of the track, and claims his second win in IHRA history. Congratulations to Jason Collins. We'll take another look at it.
Happy Jack Dad there being congratulated by Harold Martin.
Well, and you can see just a little wisp of smoke out of Rick's car there just before we cut to this shot. Keep an eye on Rick Jones on your left-hand side. A pair of Hemis here. One a Chrysler Hemi, the other a shotgun Hemi built by John Kazi. And you can see Rick Jones' Dodge Neon moving around just a little bit there around half track. And, of course, Jason Collins comes across first, dragging the chutes, doing a great job, man. Look at that big hug. There's no question they are very, very happy. Our third winner in 4 races. Let's go to the top with Kathy.
Congratulations. It was a great run, 672, and your second ever national event win. Jason, what a way to go.
I tell you, it's hard to believe. We worked hard this weekend. It's me, my mom, and my dad's one that goes to the races, but there's a lot more people that I need to thank. I got people that work for me, that run my racetrack while I'm gone. It allows me to be gone. My wife's at home. She puts up with all this crap, me being gone all the time. The people at the school, they've been great. They've helped us out, helped us get our program on track. And it's nice to bring a trophy home to them. Back to Alabama's going to make that trip home a lot shorter.
There you go.
And want to thank IHRA and Hooters, Speed Channel. I also want to thank Holly. I know I'm probably forgetting John Kazi Racing Engines. It's been a dream come true. And like I say, I'm glad I went to 2 finals and got 2 wins.
Congratulations. It's great to see you down here.
Thank you.
There you go.
A very excited Jason Collins. He's handing out the hugs.
Can we first
Good job.
There's Dad Jack. Father and son in victory. Boy, look at that points chase, Ken. It's tight.
Yeah, the top 3 are separated by just 32 points, and Rick Jones sitting atop alone with that Dodge, and everything else in this category has been dominated by Fords, except for John Montecalvo in the number 8 spot.
We are about to witness the final round of Hooters IHRA drag racing season so far for 2003, and it's going to take place in Funny Car. Rob Atchison, who's been steadily running in the 90s, even with the conditions that we have here this weekend, is about to be taking on 5-time world champion Mark Thomas. Now, Mark, we know that he can run in the low 6s, but we have yet to see him run in the 90s since qualifying. What is going to happen? We are about to find out with one of the best matchups we've seen so far this year with Hooters IHRA drag racing.
Well, I tell you what, it's a good thing it's not a race for hair, because Mark Thomas would be all over that one, man.
You're right. Funny Car final as IHRA rocks.
In these times of too much credit card debt, are you getting caught trying to balance your credit card problems as you try to balance your life? The consequences are serious, but there is a cure. There is Ameridebt, an approved non-profit debt management company established to get you back on solid ground.
If you have between $2,500 and $40,000 in credit card debt, then Ameridebt's Cure program can help eliminate credit card penalties, reduce interest rates, and make your monthly payments smaller.
My interest rates on all 4 cards were between 22 to 29%. After being with Ameridebt, they lowered my interest rates to 4 to 11%.
It went down from 20,000 to 18,000 to 16,000 to 15,000.
At a much faster rate than I could have done myself.
Soon I'm going to be out of debt, and Ameridebt made this possible.
Call for your free and confidential credit card debt analysis. Call in the next 8 minutes to see how fast you can get out of debt. Call 1-800-THE-CURE.
October 10th, 11th, and 12th. MGM Grand Garden Arena. Don't miss the Maxxis U.S. Open. All the top riders in the world are invited to compete in the world's premier motorcycle race. Plus the stars of tomorrow in the Amateur Arena Cross World Finals. Don't miss the action. Get your tickets now. The Maxxis U.S. Open. October 10th, 11th, and 12th. MGM Grand Garden Arena.
Starting Monday, your weeknights are gonna get a whole lot faster. NASCAR TV, the world of NASCAR, weeknights 6 to 8 and all night Friday. Autofocus, different shows each night where the cars are the stars. Wind Tunnel, Dave, motorsports newsmakers, and you. Racing, adrenaline junkies, strap in. Check out the new lineup. Whatever you're into, it's all about speed.
This Hooters IHRA telecast being brought to you by Racing Radios, the official radio of the IHRA. We've got finals coming at you here in Funny Car. Listen to these stats here real quickly. The winningest Funny Car racer of all time in IHRA goes to Vaughn Smith with a total of 18. Then it's Jimmy Rector with 17, Mark Thomas with 16. But Vaughn Smith did it in 30 finals, Rector in 36 finals, and Thomas in 39 finals for a 41% winning average. Now, Mark Thomas has been to the finals a bunch of times, but he struggles winning them.
He seems to have trouble at times with those reaction times, and that's what Rector's telling him. You worry about the driving, I'll worry about the car. Just don't do anything silly.
Mark Thomas has run it up in the last 6 finals that he's been to. His last win was at Rockingham, the Autumn Nationals in 2001. Of course, Rob Atchison has won the last 2 finals that he's been in, the previous 2 races.
Well, Bruce Litton has won Top Fuel, Quain Stott Pro Mod, Jason Collins Pro Stott. Who's going to win Funny Car?
They'll roll forward, pre-stage to cars. This is definitely going to be a tough battle. I mean, there's no question. Rob Atchison has beat Thomas earlier this year at Grand Bend.
Oh! Thomas left him at the tree. I mean, there's no doubt in victory for Mark Thomas. Look at Jimmy Rector. He's a happy man, the big man, shaking his belly full of jelly just like Santa Claus. Congratulations to Thomas.
Well, as we take a look at these numbers, there's no question that Mark Thomas is absolutely on kill. He had the best reaction time of the day with an 0.48 light, got after it right off the bat. Then he performed his best ET of the weekend with a 591, and then produced the best mile per hour of the entire event at 240 miles an hour. He wanted to win, and he wanted it bad. That'll be 17 wins and 40 finals, and it will tie him with Jimmy Rector as the second winningest man in IHRA Funny Car. What a great job. Congratulations to Mark Thomas. Let's go to the top, see what Mark has to say.
This is the race we have been looking forward to. You said you had something you were going to pull out underneath there, and I think you did, and you absolutely killed him on the tree.
Well, you know, when we came here, we wanted to do good, right? And everything has fallen into place exactly how we wanted to. I got to thank the people up here from Edmonton and around this area. These are the nicest bunch of people you'd ever want to meet. We're leaving here #1 in points. The sun's shining, and it don't get any better than this.
Well, congratulations. Did you take a guess at the tree?
Well, you know, Jimmy gives me that EY when he's pulling me into the lights. You'll see it on the tube there. He gives me the death look, meaner than my wife could ever look. And she's wonderful. I love you, Chris. So, but the next thing is that man is serious, and he is making me serious.
Well, is this what we're going to see then for the rest of the season? Do we have Mark Thomas back?
Mark Thomas is back. We're going to be in the finals. We're going to do good this year.
All right, we'll see you in Detroit.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
That is quite a rebound from a man that did not qualify at Virginia to come back here, put a win up on the board, take over the points lead. He definitely has grandeurs of championships ringing in his eyes. Will not get the points lead here, though. Rob Atchison with 327. Mark Thomas in the number 2 spot. He's behind by just about 25 points. Mike Camella, John Boros in there in the top 10. Terry Monroe round out the top 10.
Congratulations to Mark Thomas, all our pro winners. We're going on to Milan, the Motor City Nationals, July 11th through 13th. If you can't be there, watch us on August 2nd, and the Pro Stock and Funnies on the 16th.
For more racing information, log on to speedtv.com, and while you're there, link on over to the IHRA and check it out. For Kathy Fisher, Jim Marchison, I'm Ken Stout. Hope you had a great time. We'll see you in Milan.
IHRA rocks!
Nitromaniac TV's Drag Files, taking you trackside where an admission pass won't. Subscribe today for the best in modern and archival drag racing content. Plus, coming soon, join Kellen Nitro as he takes a look at the classic races that make up drag racing history in the Retro Race Review. Subscribe today at tinyurl.com/dragfile.